25 years of media excellence. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle at digital address GA099334, also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takoradi, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. In this edition, Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund dares NDC MPs to write to London Stock Exchange to allege procurement breaches in the Japa royalties agreement.
NDC will continue ranting this way. And NDC wouldn't want Ghana to succeed in any transaction.
We'll tell you more as Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is set to meet today civil society organizations that have been opposing the deal. Also, security and political analysts called on security agencies to clamp down on perpetrators of violence ahead of December elections following alleged assault on MP for Ododo Diodio.
The national security seems to be sleeping. And once you have a sleepy national security, chances are that Ododo Diodio, maybe Kaswa, you can go to other places in this country if you ask the national security.
We'll hear from them as well as residents of the area on the recurring violent acts there. Gender Minister reveals government will provide safe havens for women branded as witches following attacks on them in their communities.
It is a very dicey thing. What we are looking at is giving these wonderful elderly women a safe haven.
In sports,
we'll get reactions from the camp of Wilfred Osekwe Kupama as CAS dismisses his appeal against the Ghana Football Association's elections committee decision to disqualify him from last year's presidential election.
And later, we're still on the 21st Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, and this time we'll hear from the winner of the Hip Hop Song of the Year category, Kofi Mole, on how he predicted his win.
I think Don't Be Late is like hands down the Hip Hop Song of the Year.
Now the award goes to Kofi Mole.
We have that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apo. Details shortly. And in our very first story, Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Mrekuduka, is daring NDC MPs to write to the London Stock Exchange over the alleged procurement breaches in the controversial Ejapa deal. The deal will see Ghana assign part of its rights to receive royalties in an effort to raise funds for development. It has been opposed from many quarters who argue it is not in the best interest of Ghanaians. Government has justified it and recently accused the NDC of hypocrisy after it emerged the opposition party had attempted to create similar special purpose vehicle. As the controversy rages, we bring you a news desk report on the story so far.
This deal is not welfare improving. It's not welfare enhancing.
The controversy over the deal came to light in August this year in Parliament, when the minority NDC opposed the agreement, insisting it was not in the interest of the nation. In the deal, government is hoping to raise some $500 million by assigning its rights to receive royalties from some gold mining companies. To this end, it registered the Japa Royalties Company Limited in the United Kingdom's town of Jersey, which is a tax haven, as a vehicle to float some 49% of the rights to these royalties. Some 15 civil society organizations, including ASEP and ISODEC, raised issues about what they said is a lack of transparency on the part of government. They urge government to suspend the deal, as the controversy could deter potential investors from taking an interest.
One, it is registered in a tax haven. Two, there is some names that have come up which is politically exposed. While the deal was not consulted, it was also rushed through the processes.
Deputy Finance Minister Charles Edubuahin disagreed.
This is an equity transaction where we are selling shares in an equity vehicle, totally different type of structure.
The opposition did not end, neither did the government's defense.
I find it's a very shady deal, and I'm saying if I become president, I will not respect that agreement. It is a theft of Ghanaians, royalties.
People, unfortunately, are politicizing a deal that we are trying to do for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Transaction advisors for the agreement spoke after it emerged. Attorney General Gloria Kufu had advised that the deal was skewed against Ghana. Gabi Otredakon spoke on their behalf.
Attorney General said, we have reviewed the latest letter and the reference and the submitted draft agreements and know that our comments have been incorporated and changes effected to the draft agreements.
Policy think tank Imani Africa insisted the AG's advice has been ignored.
When you take the suggestion that was made in the previous advice, particularly 22nd July, that there should be a fixed term through the transaction, that is not reflected in the final agreement. So there's still no fixed term.
The CSOs petitioned the Finance Ministry on the matter, but Minister Ken Ofori-Atta discounted it after the deal had been described as an elite capture.
I think, that the issue that really was hurtful and made me discount the letter was when they ended saying that we are trying to stop elite capture. The mindset in which it was brought, it makes it really very difficult to see whether it is genuine.
Mr. Ofori-Atta has, however, extended an invitation to the CSOs and is set to meet them today.
That was a News Desk report. Minority spokesperson on finance, Atro Forson, says he intends to write to the London Stock Exchange on the matter.
We are writing officially to the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK. We are writing to the London Stock Exchange. We are not petitioning them. We are putting them on notice that we, the members of the minority, believe that this deal is not in a transparent manner. We believe that there are things that this administration is hiding from us. We don't even know the value of the company. We believe that the value of the company has been understated.
Now, the chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Miracle Duka, says the minority MPs are, as usual, working against the good of Ghana.
NDC will continue ranting this way. And NDC wouldn't want Ghana to succeed in any transaction. They wrote letters in the Sino-Hydro deal. They walked out from Parliament during the NHIS. And I'm reassuring Ghanaians that we have nothing to hide. This deal is a fair deal. It's something that is going to really propel the engine of growth of this country. It's something that we need to support wholeheartedly.
And we're told that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is set to meet the CSOs today. Thankfully, we've been joined on the phone by Dr. Steve Mantiel of MySEDEC. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So we're expecting a press conference from the CSOs today. Let's clarify, is that going to happen?
Well, yes, the group of CSOs, we know more of 15, we are about 21 now. We actually had scheduled a press conference today, but last night we had information from the Finance Ministry that the Minister would want to engage. And so we actually in the process of getting ourselves ready for this afternoon's meeting.
Well, this particular deal, the 15 CSOs, now 21, had described it as an elite capture and asked for its immediate suspension. Going into this meeting today, are you hopeful that that will happen?
Well, I must say it's good to engage. And in fact, better to engage in good faith. So we go into this meeting with a very open mind. We seek nothing short of safeguarding the national interest of the transaction. We're not really dead against what government is trying to do. There's nothing wrong with seeking to optimize your returns from your natural resources. But I think our major concern has to do with the level of transparency, the lack of accountability provisions in the very laws that set up the stage for the EJAPA transaction and all that. So what we're seeking to do really is to provide further safeguards of the national interest so that at least we know as citizens and as stakeholders that at least we are covered in the transaction.
So what is the expected posturing are you expecting from the finance minister and government for that matter on this particular issue?
Well, we're hoping that the finance ministry will not take an entrenched position coming into this meeting. If they do, then of course there will be no need really calling for this engagement. you call for engagement when you are willing to listen and to accommodate concerns of those who are worried about the way you are proceeding. So if you come into this meeting and for you it's a foregone conclusion, then of course you must as well not engage.
So you're going into this meeting hopeful that the concerns that you had raised will be taken into account, or you're expecting a suspension outright?
First and foremost, like I said, there are serious weaknesses in the Mineral Income Investment Fund Act. These weaknesses we want addressed. To do so, you cannot proceed regardless. You will need to put a hold on your roadmap or your steps you are taking to implement the law. And so we expect that, yes, the ministry will be willing to slow down the process a bit, first and foremost, for much wider consultation, and then again, for putting in the safeguards that will safeguard the national interest.
Well, you finally got the attention of government as CSOs. Briefly, how has the struggle been like?
I didn't get that.
I'm saying that you finally got the attention of government as CSOs for this meeting to happen. I was asking briefly about the struggle.
You're asking what about the struggle?
About the struggle for you to get the attention of government finally on this issue.
That is what you call democracy, right? In democracy, there's something you call participatory decision making. And I know the government understands this better than we do. Okay? And so once citizens raise concerns, I think it's just expected that a government that understands the principles of democracy would engage.
Okay.
And so, yes, we came out of this meeting. If we are not satisfied that at least we've secured the needed safeguards for the interest of the country, we will continue with our struggle.
We're grateful for your time. That's Dr. Steve Mantiao of ISODEC, and the 21 CSOs, we're told, are meeting the Finance Minister later today, Ken Ofori-Atta, and we'll be monitoring that meeting. As and when we get the latest on that, we'll bring it to you. And we enter the election headquarters now on the midday news, and security and political analysts have called on the country's security